Hello and welcome and good evening from Manchester United at Old Trafford, because it's Manchester United against Leicester City, the Friday night match live from Old Trafford. The first Premier League game on the season, and it's live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Now, there has been a change of plan in the coverage. Last night we were hoping to have Russ Burning commentating, but for one reason or another he's had one or two difficulties today, and unfortunately will not be able to bring you the commentary. So at the last second I've decided to step in. He's given me the help. I've had to do a very quick bit of prep, and already I'm all ready to go. So a game that should have been covered by Russ, for one reason or another he's had technical issues, so I'm stepping in at the last second to bring you the full match commentary live as well. So I'm doing a bit of both, presenting and commentary. Manchester United and Leicester City. Let me just give you the two teams started first of all, just to give you the team lineups. About 8 minutes away from kick-off here at Old Trafford on opening night of this league season. So it's De Gea in goal for Manchester United, Darmian, Bailey and Lindelof and Shaw. Pogba starts in the midfield and starts as captain. Pereira and Fred, Mata, and Fred will be probably the main man up front. Sanchez and Rashford up there as well. On the bench for Manchester United we have Lukaku, Martial, Smalling, Lee Grant, the goalkeeper, former Burnley of course, you may remember, Ashley Young, Marion Verlemen and McTominay. Leicester City's 11 is as follows: Kasper Schmeichel in goal, the Danish World Cup goalkeeper, and Marty, Morgan, Maguire and Chilwell across the back. Ndidi, Adrian Silva, Pereira and Maddison, the young lad they've got from Norwich. Damari Gray and Iheanacho further forward. On the bench for the Foxes we got Johnny Evans, a new signing from West Bromwich Albion, Jamie Vardy, who's amongst the substitutes, Mark Albrighton, Ward, Eboro, Christian Fuchs and Gezal. And that's the 11. That's the 18, the squad of 18 as Old Trafford looks full. So Iheanacho will play up front, there's no doubt about that. I think it's a cracking atmosphere. Old Trafford just filling up very slightly as we speak, so I think it'll be an interesting match up here today. Old Trafford usually is for an evening like this. It's been a breezy sort of a day in Manchester, but Old Trafford expects, and Harry Maguire is named in the Leicester starting lineup this afternoon, or this evening rather. This is the first of 4 live matches from the Premier League this weekend. This is the first, and then tomorrow we're up at St James's Park for Newcastle versus Tottenham. And then at 5:30, Wolverhampton Wanderers. We follow them as they make their Premier League, as they return to Premier League action for the first time in 5 or 6 seasons, as they take on Everton, big spreaded Everton. And then on Sunday, we're at Southampton and Burnley for Southampton against Burnley with a 1:30 kickoff. Paul Pogba, World Cup winner, and captain today. So we're just waiting for the teams to come out, and well, it's not even been 3 weeks since the World Cup final, and when we broadcast that to the thousands of you that tuned in, and we're almost ready to go. In fact, the teams are now in the tunnel, and Leicester led by their talismanic captain Wes Morgan, former Nottingham Forest man. As the teams, well, Leicester is certainly in the tunnel as we wait for Manchester United to come out. Let me just tell you about the head-to-head meetings over the years in between the two teams. They have met in league games. United have 59 wins, Leicester have 32 wins, with the other 29 being drawn. So they've played each other about 130 times, and that's the statistics. In total, Manchester United have won 64. This is in all competitions, including the League Cup and the FA Cup. United have played 164 of the matches. Leicester 33. The solitary win was in a League Cup match back in 1996 outside the league at 2-0 winners at Filbert Street, and 29 draws last season. 2-2 in the first game, 2-0 to Manchester United in the first match at Old Trafford, and that was almost a year ago, almost to the to the week, and then the last played each other on the 23rd of September last year, just before Christmas, and as they played out an entertaining 2-2 draw. Just to give you a word or two on the officials tonight. The officials are as follows. Referee for this game is Andre Mariner. The two assistants are Scott Ledger and Simon Long, and the fourth official tonight, Anthony Taylor, from just down the road in Wittenshaw in Greater Manchester. Andre Mariner, of course, from Birmingham, West Midlands, of course, played 35 games last season and showed a whopping 97 yellow cards and 5 red cards in his 35 matches he officiated in last season. But Old Trafford buzzing, and James Maddison, £25 million he's cost Leicester from Norwich. It's it could be a dangerous one to come as the teams come out into the raucous atmosphere. Mourinho, well, he's been moaning about the lack of transfer activity, but I think he's got a very good still got a very good squad there at Manchester United. I've backed them on. If you've seen my YouTube video last night, you'll have realised that they are. I've got them down as predicted they'll finish fourth behind Arsenal. Just purely and simply, Mourinho has been a bit of a negative influence on things. It's quite ashen face. You wouldn't think he was about to enter the fray for a big game. Remember, United won the corresponding fixture 2-0 last season, and now Leicester will be going for revenge. Claude Puel was spent big. I think Maddison is a very risky signing from Norwich. He's a very good player. Well, the £25 million tag way heavy on his shoulders here tonight. Rusty's on saying thank you for commenting. So we're all set to go practically here at Old Trafford. The Stretford end really packed, and I think we're just about almost ready now for kick-off in front of a raucous atmosphere here at Old Trafford for Manchester United against Leicester City. Friday Night Live, but Russ will be back in future Fridays covering the best of Premier League football and Football League. He's just run into one or two difficulties tonight, hence why I'm taking over commentary. Don't forget, Newcastle against Tottenham tomorrow lunchtime, and then tomorrow evening it's Wolves against Everton. Sunday afternoon, Robert, Burnley's first match away from home against Southampton. But tonight it's all about Manchester United and Leicester City. Let's check them two teams once again. So, in case you missed it, De Gea starts in goal for Manchester United. Darmian, Bally, Lindelof and Shaw across the back. Pogba, Pereira and Mata in midfield. Pereira and Mata either side of Pogba, I'd have thought, with Fred up front alongside Rashford and Sanchez, who will play surely on the flanks. On the bench for United, we've got Romelu Lukaku, Anthony Martial, Chris Smalling, Lee Grant the goalkeeper, Ashley Young, Marian Fellaini and young McTominay. Leicester City lineup as follows: Schmeichel in goal, then it's Marty, Morgan, Maguire and Chilwell across the back, and then you've got Ndidi, Adrian Silva, Ricardo Pereira and Maddison and Gray, 5-man midfield, and in a nutshell the central striker up front in preference to Jamie Vardy. On the bench for Leicester, in fact, Jamie Vardy, Johnny Evans, Marco Brighton, Ward, Ibarra, Christian Fuchs and Ghezzal. And that is the two lineups for this intriguing encounter here at Old Trafford this evening. And well, it's a pretty cool but clear night at Old Trafford as we wait for the kick-off. Don't forget the referee is Birmingham as we await the start of the game. Remember, this is going to be the start of 9 months of pure drama and suspense. Live on the JB Carrot YouTube channel, our first live Premier League match of the season. Manchester United against Leicester City from Old Trafford. And what a game it promises to be here. Fred the Red is in fantastic form as you would expect, and let's hope we have a really good start to the season as regards this now. Well, we can tell Fred the Red is in red hot form. Manchester United will be hoping that they can get off to a good start in the Premier League title race. As I said, a bit of housekeeping with the referees. Andre Mariner's the man in charge. We've hit one or two difficulties, but as soon as we get difficulties sorted out, we will bring you commentary of it. It's pretty difficult sometimes when you're trying to do the commentaries, and it's very difficult, but we're all set to go then at Old Trafford. I cannot believe the football season is here once again. It doesn't seem 5 minutes since the World Cup final has took place in Moscow, and away we go, and we're about 50 seconds in. 25th Premier League meeting, incidentally, between the two teams. Manchester United with 15 wins, Leicester with 2 wins, 7 draws so far to speak of at this moment. But I think it's going to be a tough examination of Leicester's credentials here this evening. Can they produce the form they showed 3 years ago when they were Premier League champions, of course, and they certainly won it with a bit of style, of course, you may remember, but this is no... Well, Leicester will find it a lot difficult now. They've lost Riyad Mahrez, of course, during the summer. That was a big blow. We're 2 minutes into the first half. We haven't missed anything. Manchester United, no. In fact, a penalty's been given. A penalty's been given in the second minute, and Paul Pogba's going to take advantage of it. And we're just about going to see the first kick in anger now of the new season. It's Paul Pogba. It's a slow run at Schmeichel dancing on the line. Pogba hits it, and it's into the net. Manchester United have a goal from the penalty spot. I wasn't sure who... Well, we were off. We lost the stream at the start, so we don't know why it was given, but I'm sure we'll have a look at a replay in just a second to find out what came about it. But Paul Pogba with a very cool penalty, stepped up right-footed, goalkeeper nearly got there, dived the right way, and Paul Pogba gives Manchester United a 3-minute lead. Well, our first Premier League goal of the season comes from the penalty spot. We're not sure what it was given for, because we didn't have the communications are broken down. But we do have a goal here at Old Trafford. I'm sure we'll get confirmation of why the penalty was awarded by Andre Mariner, but not the start Leicester City wanted. 3.5 minutes gone. Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0. And here is Gray now to Chilwell. Chilwell back inside. That's surely going to be a foul there. And a free kick, which they've taken quickly here, Leicester. Gray has it on the left-hand side. Gray now cuts inside. Gets a good cross in, but hooked away by Barry. Now then, a chance here for Rashford to get the ball forward. And a chase on here for Alexis Sanchez. Schmeichel well off limits and hooked the ball away. Leicester at 6s and 7s all of a sudden, because here come Manchester United again, breaking in numbers. They're looking right up for this at the start of the season. 1-0 up. And here they come again. The cross in towards Rashford, who was waiting in the middle. Freddie's also there too. Darmian now knocks it back out. And Barry now picks the ball up. Darmian now knocks the ball back once again. Now Barry just turns and pirouettes away. Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0. The scoreline, Mata touching the ball back. United looking very, very good in the opening minutes, although they didn't have the best of pre-seasons, which wasn't helped by the constant moaning and groaning by a certain Mr. Mourinho. There was talk that Harry Maguire was going to come to Old Trafford. He is at Old Trafford, but he's in a Leicester City shirt. And full credit to Leicester City. It was always going to be a tough ask to keep hold of him, but Amartey now plays it in, and then the ball's given away rather carelessly there by O'Brighton. And now the ball given away once more to Mata. Mata Doing fantastically well and just keeping possession here, Manchester United. 5 minutes gone. The United lead. Paul Pogba with a third-minute penalty. Shaw now getting an opportunity, and Shaw playing a good 1-2. And Shaw was tripped there by the Leicester defence, was he? No, says Mr. Mariner. Play on, says the referee. Lovely action-packed start to the game. A penalty in the 3rd minute from Paul Pogba. First Premier League goal of the season. And here's Old Brighton. Old Brighton just drifted towards the far near side, and then he goes down. And Freddie's not happy. In fact, it's number 10 Maddison, that he's brought down. So I do apologise for the lack of descriptions here, but I've cut this match at the very last minute, and I'm trying to familiar myself with all this because I was prepping for the game up at St James's tomorrow between Newcastle and Tottenham, which was initially to me my original opening league match of the season. And it will still be a match that we'll be covering. And then Chris and Chris Whiteman, our second main match commentator, will have Wolves against Everton for you at 5:30 tomorrow evening. Free kick though to Leicester, looking to hit back straight away. Chilwell with a free kick, headed away, only half away by Bally, and then away go Manchester United, and here goes Marcus Rashford leading the charge, spreads up ahead of him. Mata making a break towards the right as well. Sanchez is there too. Rashford holds it up on the left hand side. A lovely lightning attack there for United, but unfortunately for them it breaks down, and here come Leicester City now. Premier League 1-0 to Manchester United. Opening night of the season here at Old Trafford. A Friday night match live from Old Trafford. A 3rd minute penalty from Paul Pogba. The difference here, this is Chilwell now for Leicester. Good football this time from the Foxes. Gray now has it. Gray into Maddison. Maddison just turns, and Perez just drifts in from the left. Finds Silva. Silva now to Morgan on halfway. Morgan back to Adrian Silva again. Chips the ball again towards the near side. And it's Ben Chilwell now for Leicester. And once again, Maddison keeps the ball alive. But at the moment it's been a tough baptism of fire for the Leicester players, although they've responded magnificently to going 1-0 down. And it hasn't not been easy for them thus far. But as I say, anything can happen in football. It usually does. And in football, anything is possible. At the moment, it's Leicester on the attack with Silva now. Silva doing well, cuts it out, but he can't. Well, he's just about found Gray. Gray had to stretch there to keep it in. Still deep inside Manchester United territory at the moment, which is good for Leicester anyway, in terms of keeping possession well. Amati has it far side. Then the ball spread back towards Morgan. Morgan now just making it look easy. Morgan gets the long ball forward up towards Iheanacho, formerly of Manchester City. Still hasn't hit the ground running after his very expensive move from the blue half of Manchester. Pogba playing the ball back. Pogba with the only goal of the game. And we've not been playing 10 minutes yet here at Old Trafford, and Sanchez now making a break forward. We're into the 8th minute of the match. 1-0 to Manchester United. Penalty after 3 minutes from Paul Pogba. It's the difference between the two sides. Just to remind you, Newcastle against Spurs tomorrow at 12:30. That's a 12:30 kickoff. We'll be on air about 12:20 at lunchtime, and then 5:30 kickoff. Build up starting around about 5:10 of with the full classified check of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Everton from Molineux, and then on Sunday Southampton against Burnley in our offering of the weekend. As Demarai Gray goes forward, goes down, wins his team a free kick. A foul there by Damian. Went a bit clumsy there from the Italian international. Noah White is on, says hi. Good evening to you, Noah. as we get the free kick. He's predicting a 2-1 scoreline for United. I think he'd want to take a 2-0 rather than a 2-1. But he's got to concede a free kick here, or his team have got a free kick to defend him. This is Maddison, the man they got from Norwich, £25 million worth. He really needs to get a ball on Harry Maguire's head. Maguire scored a couple of crucial goals in England's run to the World Cup semi-finals, you may remember. 20 forward there in blue. The ball in towards the penalty in the 6-yard area. Headed away, but only as far as Maddison. Back to Chilwell again. Chilwell now to Maddison. Tries to play 1-2 with Gray. The attack just breaks down slightly there for Leicester. But Chilwell keeps the ball alive. But he gets the ball back now. And still Leicester looking to try and get players forward. And Martin out for Leicester. Can they find something and get an equalising goal, which would make the game that little bit more better as far as the neutral is concerned? We've just played over, coming up towards 11 minutes of the first half gone. Manchester United 1, Leicester City nearly to score at Old Trafford. And at the moment, Leicester just playing the ball about leisurely at the moment. Ball out towards the far side here. Remember the 2018-19 season. Crazy Peter Gabin says hi. Good evening to you. Remember, the comment section is open to talk about all things the football. No questions about why we're not covering we're not showing match footage or anything like that. I'll answer it once and answer it once only. Anybody who questions that, the moderators are in full force. Ross is there, and he will make sure that nobody gets away with blue murder. So no needless questions about why we're streaming it without actual moving pictures. It's an audio commentary. If I use moving pictures on YouTube, the Premier League would do us for copyrights, and we would be out of a channel, and everyone would be out of a job. So that's why we are doing an audio radio commentary rather than anything else. And all links to potential streams will come on the comment section. The moderators will be out in force, and we'll be taking any potential people who do that off the stream. You won't be welcome on this channel again. Right, I hope that's the serious bit over with. Meanwhile, Leicester have conceded a throw deep inside the United half. 12.5 minutes gone. 1-0 to Manchester United. A 3rd-minute penalty from Paul Pogba. Still haven't seen a rerun of how the penalty was given, because he'd actually lost the feed of the match at the crucial point. When the penalty was given, but we joined it just in time to see the penalty being dispatched away, so we were able to give you a better description on the penalty, but we not found out how it was awarded to United, and the United breaking inside the area. The referee's happy. Looked as if Fred was standing in an offside position as that ball was played over. In any case, Leicester City cleared from the edge of their own 6-yard line in an actual battering away over deep inside the United half, and he yielded his team a throw. And Russ has shedded light on the situation. It was given for handball. Crazy Peter Gaming says, come on to Manchester United, we can do this. What's happening to my night against Leicester? Well, United making hard work of it. Leicester, since the goal, have started to come into the game a little bit more. This is Chilwell forward for Leicester, and that attempted pass back hit the referee. But it still breaks kindly for Leicester, and it's Damari Gray now on the left-hand side. Back to Chilwell. Chilwell to Harry Maguire. Maguire to Wes Morgan, his club captain. Maguire, of course, played in that defensive three for England during the summer. Remember, if you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter address is Stutzy83. That's my Twitter address. This is Damari Gray now down the left hand side, deep inside United territory. The ball threaded in there, and Leicester at the moment really having a good go, and then the shot back in from about 25 yards with the right foot by Ndidi, having to make a it made David De Gea make a real sprawling save diving away to his right hand side here, as Manchester United were going forward at the other end, but Maguire And Albrighton sorted out the danger. And here goes Chilwell. Past Mata as if he didn't exist. Away from Fred. Now he's Fred Gray on the right. On the left. And Gray's chipped it in there towards Iheanacho. Inside the area. Iheanacho shoots. And he's just shaved the far post as he goes wide. And Leicester are growing into the game even more. The flag actually had gone up anyway for offside. But Leicester, as we go past the quarter hour period of the first half, I'm looking very threatening indeed. And I have to say, that looked level. I think that's a very dubious offside decision. Iheanacho was very, very unlucky. Only 3 goals last season. Only made 7 starts. But even so, Leicester, even without Jamie Vardy or Riyad Mahrez, Jamie Vardy on the bench, Riyad Mahrez has gone to Manchester City, of course. Even without those two, Leicester look a real threat, and Chilwell is at the hub of all the good things they've done. And here they come again, Leicester, but the ball is amazingly knocked out of play by Silva. So, Romelu Lukaku on the bench. He had a great World Cup for Belgium as they finished 3rd. At the moment, Leicester growing into the game since the penalty. I got the sense in pre-season, just watching Manchester United at close quarters, that something's not right there. Mourinho's body language suggests that he's not put his heart and soul into this pre-season. Is he frustrated with the lack of transfer activity? There was rumours they were going to sign 2 or 3 players. Yesterday, Aaron Maguire was the one that was mooted more than most. And they just didn't do any business. Ed Woodward didn't deliver as much as Mourinho would have demanded from him. But it doesn't help morale when Mourinho's moaning. He's just got to make the best of what he's got. At the moment, his defence look all over the place. And this is the reason why if you watch the video later on of prediction of my final table predictions, now that everyone's done business, why they'll finish 4th, it's because they haven't got a Premier League winning defence. And that's the problem for Manchester United, because Leicester are finding them out. And some here. This is Maddison, number 10, on his debut. Maddison towards the area, cutting from the left-hand side. And then in the end, United had enough wherewithal to sort it out. And then they've given it away. And Didi now takes over. Finds Silva. Silva out to the far side this time. And Marty's there. Back to Marty once again. Leicester having a very good spell here. 17.5 minutes gone at Old Trafford. And Leicester are really making a fight of this in the opening game of the season. And Claude Puel, despite the penalty decision, the handball decision going against his side, obviously Pogba putting the penalty away, actually he can be the happier, I say that subconsciously, the two managers, because they, since conceding the goal, they've actually looked a very much the better team. And that's not an exaggeration on the truth. Leicester have had 2 or 3 good openings. I mean, he needed that decision against them to spur them into action. There's no doubt about that. 1-0 to Manchester United, but it's a very slender 1-0 lead. Although United will look very menacing on the break, I would have thought. As Darmian now plays the ball to Pogba, the captain for tonight. Paul Pogba, a sign of intent from Mourinho that Pogba's his captain. Remember, the first of 4 live Premier League games this weekend. This one tonight, and then 2 tomorrow. 1 from St James's Park, where Newcastle kick off their campaign against Mauricio Pochettino's Tottenham. And then at 5:30 at Molineux, it's Wolves against... It's Wolverhampton Wanderers against... Everton from Molineux, and then on Sunday I'll be covering the game at St Mary's between Southampton and Burnley, as Burnley look to try and repeat what they did last year and win at St Mary's. There's a Leicester player down over on the far side. The referee has stopped it, and she's quite entitled to do that. If you're wondering why that If you're wondering what that noise was, that was my mobile going off, but I've turned it on silent now, so you won't hear any more silly noises there like that. It was my Outlook email thing going off there. Well, we're coming up towards 20 minutes gone. I'd like, if you are enjoying the commentary, please let me know. Leave a like. Don't be doing too many dislikes. I was given this game at ended up having to do this game at short notice through no fault of Russ Burnings. He was the man that was designated to do the game, but for whatever reason he had to pull out because of technical problems. So he couldn't bring the game to us. He couldn't bring the game from his point of view. But I've stepped in at the last minute with precious little homework to do because I've done most of my prep for tomorrow, where Newcastle take on Tottenham. That is supposed to be my original starting game in the Premier League, but we've got Old Trafford as well. And Chris Whiteman will be your man at from the game at Molineux tomorrow evening as well. In fact, he's got some big games coming up during the Saturday tea time slot as well, Chris. So some big games for him coming up in the next few weeks. Meanwhile, Rashford has stolen the ball over on the far side, deep inside the Leicester City area, in Leicester City half. But in the end, Leicester snuffing the danger out. 21 minutes gone. Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0. And just in case you've tuned in late, the most significant team news was that Jamie Vardy and Romelu Lukaku are on the substitutes bench for both Leicester and Manchester United respectively. Paul Pogba has been made captain of Manchester United for the game tonight and scored the only goal of the game after 3 minutes. A handball given against Leicester, and Pogba put the ball past Schmeichel, who dived the right way into the right hand corner as we looked off the net. Schmeichel diving the right way to his left but couldn't get there. $67 million that they got Fred for from Shakhtar Donetsk. Something in the region of about 50 odd million pounds. Well, at the moment, Manchester United are really struggling at the moment. Just to answer the crazy piece of gaming's question, Mourinho's body language, I've just looked at there, looks a man really under pressure. This Leicester side have really given it a good go. This, it's 1-0 to United, but that just tells at least a quarter of the story. Leicester have had two good opportunities, and Iheanacho has had a good chance himself. This is Darmian now on the right-hand side. Darmian decides to get Fred into the game now. Fred with a cross towards the far post. Headed out as far as Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba now going forward. And absolutely none of us. I have to say that Pogba has been actually superb. There's a free kick opportunity for United that wasn't given. Darmian cutting the ball out. Crazy creative gaming is becoming like Mourinho. Here's Luke Shaw for Manchester United. Lovely chip forward, but there's just too strong a chip there. But the idea was good. Out of play out of play for a goal kick. But Paul Pogba involved again. Pogba trying to hit the shot, and he actually caught Iheanacho there, and he went back, won the ball. But I think he lost his balance, and Pogba wanted a free kick, which I don't think was going to be a free kick in all reality. There, I think he was looking for something that in reality wasn't there. But he's a very good player, a real live wire. He's had a great World Cup. I thought remember he scored the winning goal in the first game against Australia, the one where it hit the crossbar and it needed the aid of the goal line technology. No VAR incidentally again this season in the Premier League, and they're not adopting the new rules that have taken place in the EFL this season, where managers now and coaches can now get red and yellow cards. They haven't implemented it yet in the Premier League at the moment. Here come Leicester though, charging forward, and the shot was well charged down, and it will fall nicely to David De Gea to take the ball there. And Didi trying with the opportunity there to get it off on his right foot. Well, it's Iheanacho that's proven the real threat for Leicester as we come up towards 24.5 minutes gone. We're halfway through the first half then at Old Trafford. The Friday game live, and it's Premier League to start the new season. And at the moment we have a goal scored by Pogba after 3 minutes, a penalty given for handball. Now then, here's a chance now for Leicester. There's the crossing from the right hand side up towards International that time. But at the moment it's United really making heavy work a bit, and Ross again apologising, which wasn't necessary. We all understand that technical problems happen, Russ, but he will be your man for most Friday night matches, whether it's Premier League, Football League, or even the odd Friday night cup tie. Ross will be your man on Friday nights from next week onwards, and he will be the man in the know for the Football League as well. Of course, if Leeds United are playing on the same night, he will not be doing it. But we will introduce him next week to our commentary roster properly. Manchester United Fans TV says hi, and he says, come on, goes on to say, come on Manchester United, we can do it, I think. Here come Leicester though. This is Chilwell now, number 3 on the left hand side. Chilwell's having a good first half here. 25, nearly 26 minutes in fact gone. In a nutshell to Chilwell. Chilwell with a cross off the defender behind for a corner at the Stretford end where Leicester are attacking. Came off very barely, and it will be a corner. But once again, the likes of Maddison and Chilwell causing problems on the Leicester left hand side, which will be great encouragement to Claude Puel and his team. Now then, Maddison, the man they got from Norwich for £25 million. Highly rated player, of course. Maguire is in there, Morgan's in there, Chilwell's in there too. There's the crossing towards the penalty area, and hooked away will be a Leicester City throw-in, and it will be taken level with the edge of United's penalty area. Remember, Leicester attacking the Stretford end in the first half, and Gareth Southgate, the England manager, a guest of Manchester United tonight, and he must be immortal at the moment, you'd think, Gareth Southgate. Manchester United Fans TV have subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much indeed. Nice to have you with us. And because you've subscribed, you will get to hear all the videos. And don't forget, after tonight, you can check out my video I did last night with my Premier League prediction table, and where I think all 20 Premier League teams will finish. So give that a try if you haven't seen it already. And of course, the Burnley Aberdeen vlog from a couple of weeks ago has had quite a number of views. We have nearly 500 views on that, and would like it to increase a bit more. And of course, all the commentaries that are done this season will be on demand in a special playlist that on my YouTube channel of Football Commentaries 2018-2019 season. So you can listen to all these matches on demand in your leisure time. Right, back to the game now, and here come Leicester now looking to try and get this equaliser, and as we're going up towards the half-hour mark, which is 2 minutes shy of that. We've played 28 minutes. Still Paul Pogba's third minute goal deciding things here, but here come Leicester now. Inside the area, shot coming into Hesse's. It might ball for in and out, Joe, and his first touch was poor. And two Manchester United defenders were able to somehow scramble it away, but David De Gea, red hot form, and it should have been one each. Lovely ball in, it's Maddison here on his right foot. A really good rasping shot. And in the end, De Gea diving away to his right. Got a big right hand out and hooked it out for a corner, which Maddison is going to take. He's made so many clean sheets with saves like that, De Gea, over the years. The cross comes in. De Gea came for it, didn't really get there, and he purchased on it. The shot back in, 25 yards out, deflected. And wide for a corner kick to Leicester. They're coming into this, and I can sense the next goal may well be a Leicester goal. Wasn't the best punch away from De Gea, and in fact Pogba, well, that could have gone anyway. The shot deflected, and I think Leicester are knocking on the door. This is their third corner. Maddison again to take. In a natural, right on the goalkeeper there, I can see. And the ball in towards the 6-yard box. And again, this time Maguire was right in there and almost got there. Corner kick again now, fourth. And the third in succession. De Gea has hurt himself. He looks like he's taking a bang to the head. Mr. Mariner, the referee from Birmingham, just making sure that there's no jostling or pushing going on here at the moment. 29 minutes gone. Coming up towards half an hour. Maddison to take the corner. He takes the corners here from both sides. The former Norwich man, Maguire. And again, they're queuing up like England did in the World Cup, of course, when they worked the set piece. I'm sure that's something that Maguire would have worked out, but they're both out of position here at the moment because United are lightning quick on the counter-attack, and Damari Gray defended magnificently midway inside his own half, and it's got Leicester through again now on another attack. And that's surely going to be a free kick. Leicester foul there by Pogba and Maddison. Pogba absolutely arguing the case against it for him. Let's see. Well, I think he's looking for it a little bit there, Maddison. I have to say, I think Pogba might just have a little bit of a grievance there with that, and I would agree with him there. But Maddison did look for the contact, got the contact, and went down possibly a little easy there, and you can understand Paul Pogba's frustration of that. But what it does do, it gives Maddison a chance here to absolutely put pressure here on David De Gea once again. Silva wants a piece of it. Maguire's up behind it as well. We've had 31 minutes here at Old Trafford, and it's not been plain sailing at all for Manchester United. They maybe won out thanks to Paul Pogba's third-minute penalty, but it's been Leicester really that have dominated things. Now Chilwell with his left, Maddison with the right. It's a good 30 yards from goal, so it's quite a way out. And it's going to be left for Maddison. Right foot into the wall. There's about 4-man United wall erected, and Maddison hit that wall. Ball played back in. I thought there might have been an offside decision there. And in fact, Manchester United get the throw in. United really struggling here at Old Trafford this evening. I think there's going to be some really harsh words said in that United dressing room at half time. There needs to be. There's just nothing. They don't look as if there's any cohesion at all. There's no urgency in their play. Defensively, they look sluggish. And if a much bigger team, that's no disrespect to Leicester, but if a Manchester City or a Liverpool had about those chances, they would have taken them. No doubt about it. Mourinho just shrugs his shoulders down below me. He's absolutely frustrated. He's been patrolling that technical area below me for about some 10 minutes. Now, his body language doesn't seem very good to me, I have to say, and that's me as an observer watching. Meanwhile, Leicester now having lots of possession, it has to be said. They're having a lot of joy now. The ball played in low from the right, and it's a throw-in. And that's a couple of times that the number 14, Pereira's been able to make inroads down the right-hand side. Leicester really having a good goal. This is Pereira's actually third forward, incidentally. That was a Martin now. Back in field. Silva doing well. Gray will get the possession. Gray now in an actual trying to make a break inside the penalty area. Well, was waiting in the penalty area. The cross got a deflection. United somehow scrambled away, but not again very far. Morgan picks the ball up. And here they come Leicester once again. They're just absolutely having a go here. And credit to Claude Puel's team. They're absolutely taking it to Manchester United. At 1-0 down as well. But here's Mata now to get the ball forward, but the flag would have been up against Fred if he'd have found him. As it happens, it was straight into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel. His father, great Dame Peter, represented Manchester United with very, very big distinction for many, many years. Was there for 8 years, from 1991 to 1999. And was captain when they won the European Cup in Barcelona on his very last appearance in Barcelona when they beat Bayern Munich 2-1. And one of the most sensational endings to a European Cup final I've ever witnessed in 30 years of watching football. Chilwell now to Maddison. Maddison back in field once more. Maguire now getting the ball back. It's been a A very good first half for Leicester without any real penetration. If they just had a Vardy in there on the field, it might have been 1-1. It was all dependent on whether Harry Maguire would come to United. He is at United, but in the Leicester shirt. And here he's on the ball, picking it up on the halfway line. He had a magnificent World Cup, we don't forget. Harry Maguire. Our usual listeners who listen to our commentaries throughout the tournaments on England realise that Harry Maguire was a really key player in the tournament so far. And a chance now for Leicester inside the area, in and natural through. The United player went down, but there was no foul. And in any case, Bally comes away with the ball. But again, in and actual lurking. And Leicester here really putting United under severe pressure. Chilwell has had a terrific first half, in my opinion. He's bombing down the left-hand side. Gray was offside, so Chilwell had to take it on his own. Loses possession, but wins the ball back. The ball breaks to Gray, left-hand side. Gray takes on the defender. Fred beats him. With no deflection on the pass, but it finds Chilwell just about. Chilwell's cross is deflected off Damian, and it's out for a throw level with the United penalty area. And, well... And Lindelof did really well there. Used his body strength, because Iheanacho is not a slow coach by any means. Just put the striker off balance there. Meanwhile, an injury there. I can't tell who it is. It might be Lindelof, actually. Making that challenge. Indeed, it is number 2. Leicester can think themselves very unfortunate that they're not level in this game, because they've played really well despite being a goal down thanks to a penalty, which was correctly given. In fact, a free kick has been given here to Leicester. This would be a real turn-up if they got an equaliser here now. Maddison, although it wouldn't be a surprise, because in fact they've played really well and merit at least being at level, if not winning the game. Ball out towards the far side. A little flick on again. Just couldn't find Iheanacho. Manchester United really are really worried at the moment, because Leicester are knocking on the door. And the worry is, for me, is that United here, the more they invite Leicester City to attack them, the more likely Leicester could get their next goal in this match. But United still lead. This is Morgan now. Midway inside his own half. Plays it to halfway. A little flick by Ndidi. Now the ball forward by Pereira, but the ball is just too strong. And it goes back to the goalkeeper. David De Gea. Well, we've had 37 3/4 minutes on what's been an interesting first half, to say the least, on opening night of the league season, the Premier League season. Live on the JB Car YouTube channel. This is Alexis Sanchez. We haven't said his name too much. Been totally anonymous so far. Leicester have kept him really in the back pocket, the Colombian. Frustration aplenty here for Manchester United. Alexis Sanchez scored 3 goals in 18 games for United last season in all competitions. And we've got a Millwall fan here. Let's hope he's not here to cause us any bother this season. This is Matinal for Manchester United. 1-0. But it's been nothing but plain sailing for the men from Manchester. The Red Harper, Manchester. Old Trafford, well, if it was buzzing with excitement, it's now a hub of anxiety here, because Leicester, since the penalty from Pogba after 3 minutes, have actually been the more dominant side. Here's Pogba now, 25 yards out, and he shoots with his right foot, and it's straight down the throat of Kasper Schmeichel. And now Schmeichel trying to get Leicester on their way, but United snuff out the danger. Well, 39 minutes gone, and we've got 1 or 2 people on there not contravening with the rules of the chat. We do have 5 moderators on, so be careful what you say. And the game and the talk is about the match tonight, not about any other thing. Meanwhile, Manchester United break inside the penalty area. Sanchez's header from the cross from the right, and he heads it over the bar and behind for a goal kick. In fact, the linesman on the near side put his flag up anyway, and it was offside in any case as Sanchez attempted to head the ball over the goalkeeper's head. Although I have to say he looked onside to me. I have to say that it did look at a dubious call there by the linesman. Ball back to Kasper Schmeichel once again. So 1-0 is the score. It's been a really good first half. If you're a Leicester City fan, you've been encouraged by that. And maybe on balance of play, they should be level in this game, if not in front, because they played really well, Puel's side. I've been really impressed by the way they've reacted to an early setback, which was given again for a penalty, given for hands against one of their players, and then Pogba took away a penalty. But here come Manchester United, and they're going again. There's the shot, and it's straight in the arms of the goalkeeper. Luke Shaw making a good dash down the left-hand side. Played a 1-2. Went again and got his shot straight at the goalkeeper. Really good football again. Inside the last 4 minutes of the first half. Just to remind you, Newcastle against Tottenham is our main game tomorrow lunchtime, and then another game again tomorrow involving Wolverhampton Wanderers and Everton with Chris Whiteman, my Claret 94, tomorrow evening at 5:30. And then Burnley take on Southampton at 1:30 on Sunday, and that will be a game covered by my good self as well. So 3 goals. So 3 goals to come. Panini's on for the first time tonight. Talking about the Newcastle game tomorrow. There's been a lot of Newcastle fans, and I know quite a number of Newcastle fans actually, who are friends of mine, and they're a bit worried. The lack of signings there, but I think they'll stay up just in route. I think they've got a good. I think because of Rafa Benitez, I think his man management will see them over the line. He hasn't had too much in the way of money to spend, obviously, but I have. The Spurs game actually kicks off at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. Mike Ashley, in fact, has bought Alza Fraser for £90 million, which is more than he spent on the whole Newcastle, the transfer budget this summer. So Alza Fraser's been bought by him for £90 million, but hasn't spent anything on Newcastle United. Well, improving their team. Well, there was talk about Amanda Staveley taking over the reins there. I'll talk more about the ownership issues during the game tomorrow afternoon. Dixie Enormous is a follower as well. Subscribe to my YouTube channel as well if you are on. And well, we've got a free kick here to Leicester, who have just been absolutely fantastic. Tattoo Terror, thank you very much indeed. And I will follow back. So a free kick to Leicester. 2 minutes to go to half time. And it's Maddison, who set pieces I've been very impressed with. Here's the free kick, right footed into the penalty area he goes. Maguire was jumping here. Shot in rather audaciously from 25-30 yards out. Left footed, and it's way into the Stretford end and behind for a goal kick. But Mourinho is not a happy chappy. He's not been a happy chappy all summer, quite frankly. His body language says it all. This was the incident there that led to the penalty. It hit Morgan, and then I think it hit another player. Hit Daniel Amati. It looks a little bit harsh, but the penalty was given. And then Paul Pogba deciding, I'm going to have it. Sanchez tried to talk him out of it, but Pogba wouldn't have any of it. And unfortunately, Schmeichel went the right way, but the penalty was just too good. Wolves to do well this season. I've got them down as. If you take a look at my predictions for the season, I've got Wolves down, I think, to finish 9th. Burnley in 10th place. Leicester, I think, in about 13th. But I think they may well finish higher due to But I didn't know what was going on about Harry Maguire, but I think Wolves are good enough to finish 9th or 8th, and you'll be able to hear them tomorrow evening at 5:30 p.m. kick-off with Chris Whiteman. Meanwhile, with me, John Stutter, we're inside the last 15 seconds of normal time. It was supposed to be Russ Burning, but I've taken over at the last second. Crystal Palace have finished 12th. I think I've got them down as 12th place as well. But at the moment, we're just watching a replay of Pogba winning possession there. Or Eric Bailey actually winning possession. We're into 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. So once the half-time whistle goes, I'll sum it up, and then we'll have 15 minutes of a break. And then after that 15 minutes, we'll be back with full second half commentary. Hopefully we'll get a bit of reaction before we leave it around about 10 o'clock tonight from the main protagonist. Well, that's an interesting one. Panini's gone for Palace to get relegated. Well, considering the job that Roy Hodgson done, I'm very, very surprised that you've gone for them in 18th place, I have to say. Right, we've got about 15 seconds of stoppage time to go. And United will take, showing a 1-0 lead. I think Leicester can count themselves very, very unlucky not to be level at half-time, because United have really been disgraceful since the penalty. They haven't played well at all. Defensively, they've looked all over the place. And if it wasn't for their goalkeeper, David De Gea, well, they may not have a clean sheet at this moment. As Schmeichel kicks right-footed over the halfway line. There goes the referee's whistle as well. Andre Mariner of Birmingham signals the end of the first half. So a penalty conceded by Daniel Amati is the difference between the two sides. A third-minute penalty popped away by Paul Pogba gives Manchester United a slender lead, but Leicester have had chances. And I think Maddison has been at the hub of all the good things that have been good about the game. But at the moment, Iheanacho missed a great chance, although the flag had got up for offside. But Leicester have played really well. They've looked good on the break. Maddison's set plays have been absolutely first rate. But we've got a half-time situation here at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United with a slender 1-0 lead over Leicester City. I'm going to take a 10-minute break to revitalise and get ready for the second half. Join me in 10 minutes for full second half commentary of this match between Manchester United and Leicester City at Old Trafford. Until then, see you in about 10 minutes. Welcome back to Old Trafford for the first match of the new season. The half-time score, if you've just tuned in late, is Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0. A third penalty given for handball against Daniel and Marty in the 3rd minute, and Paul Pogba took away the penalty after winning an argument with Alexis Sanchez on who was going to take the penalty. So that's the scoreline. We're still waiting for the teams to come out. While we're waiting for the teams to come out, let me remind you of the coverage that we're going to have lined up every week now in terms of league football for the next 9 months. Friday Night Live, which is the programme that we're launching tonight, will mainly be concentrating on Championship football, although there will be a few Friday Night Premier League games, but whatever competition, whether it's Championship or Premier League, your main commentator, your regular commentator for that programme will be Ross Vernon, who is a big Leeds fan, as you probably gathered. Also, this year we'll have at least 2 Saturday matches live for you. That's the Saturday game live. At least 1 to 2 matches from the Premier League there, mainly a 12:40. If it's a Saturday that Burnley aren't playing, it's a 12:45 kick-off and a 5:30 kick-off, which Chris Whiteman will commentate on one of those 2, me the other. The Clarets match live, which will actually launch our Sunday game live on Sunday. I will be the main commentator, and we'll be covering Burnley in greater depth this season with most of their league matches and most of their competitive European games. We were there last night for the Clarets match live in Turkey, where it ended 0-0. You may remember, against the team from Istanbul, which name I still can't pronounce, even though I commentated on them for practically 84 minutes yesterday because we lost. We had technical issues, but we managed to join the match 6 minutes in with commentary, and in the end it was, may as well not have bothered, because it ended a very dire 0-0 draw. Though a great result for Burnley to take back to Turf Moor. And incidentally, you'll be able to hear full match commentary of the second leg of that match next week live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. Kick-off at 7:45 for that one. Right, and obviously the Sunday games, 1:30 matches usually kick off, although if any Burnley games are involved, whether it's 1:30 or 4 o'clock kickoffs, will be live for all of them. So that's practically the coverage for Monday night games, which we'll do a few. It'll be the Monday game live, and then obviously this is Champions League as well midweek. Obviously I've got a new job, which involves me having to work quite a lot of weekdays, so we'll just have to wait and see. But we will have the big European finals. We'll have the commentary of every Burnley game hopefully this season for you as well, so plenty to look forward to. We did 70 matches from 5 competitions last year: Premier League, FA Cup, League Cup, EFL, Champions League, Europa League, and the World Cup. 6 competitions, 70 live games we did last year. Let's hope we can try and get that, and try and get to at least 100 commentaries. We're back out for the second half. Mourinho just walking below me in the tunnel onto the side of the pitch. Claude Puel following him in suit. Claude Puel much more formal with his tie on. Mourinho smartly dressed but casual. Open collar, no tie. And away we go in the second half. Manchester United, just to remind you, traditional colours for them: red shirts, dark shorts and red socks. Leicester all in blue, their traditional colours as well. 1-0 to Manchester United, just to remind you, a 3rd minute penalty from Paul Pogba. This is the difference at Old Trafford this evening. In the first of our live matches, the Friday Night Live, or the Friday game live. As from next week onwards, Russ Vernon will be doing the bulk of the commentaries on Friday nights. As David De Gea, who made really a great save in the first half, puts the ball 3/4 of the way up the field and then goes to the opposite number inside his own penalty area. Kasper Schmeichel. United attacking the Stratford end to our left, incidentally, in the second half, and of course Leicester to the right. There are 2,500 supporters in the right hand corner of Old Trafford on the near side. But here come Manchester United, crossing from Rashford, looking towards Number 7, Alexis Sanchez, but knocked away. We've had just over a minute gone in the second half, and still 1-0 to Manchester United. And we'll try and remind you as swiftly as we possibly can of the lineups in case you missed them, because sometimes it's easy. Sometimes we ought to try and catch up with them. As United have the ball over on the far side, and we will give you a recap on the two teams in case you missed them earlier. In fact, we'll do that right away, in actual fact. I have to say, Pogba hasn't gone missing. He's probably been at the hub of all good things about Manchester United tonight. He's just got to replicate that World Cup form into the Premier League, and I think he'll be a really good player. I've no doubt about that. I was impressed with him during the World Cup. I thought he was pretty sound for out and did a really good job. I covered about two or three of the French games, and he looked an absolute talisman in the matches that he played for the French national side. A real example to his team, the likes of Kylian Mbappe and one or two others. I will go through those lineups in just a second for you, listeners. In fact, there's a Leicester player gone down injured over on the far side. Now then, a chance now for Marty to come forward down the right hand side. Plays the ball in towards Ricardo. In fact, it's Gray, sorry. Gray takes the ball. Now Ricardo has it. And he now in field. Adrian Silva now with a bit of space to turn into. Chilwell waiting on the left hand side for the ball, and he's in acres of space. Referee playing on. No fouls. Still deep inside Manchester United territory here as they slowly pop towards that edge of the United penalty area. This is Chilwell, who thought had a good game. Maddison, I was just listening to some of the pundits whilst we were off the mic at half time, and Robbie Earle, one of the TV pundits, said that he was one of the best. He was the best midfielder on the field in the first half. That's quite a statement, really, considering. As Rashford tries to keep the ball in, and a good defending there by Damari Gray, and it's a corner, I think, to Manchester United. Right, let's just bring you up to date while we're waiting for this corner to be taken. I'll give you the United side very quickly, the 11s that is. United with De Gea, Damian, Bally, Lindelof and Shaw across the back. Then it's Pogba, Pereira, Mata with Rashford, Fred and Sanchez further forward. We'll bring in the Leicester side in just a minute, because Manchester United have a corner far side of the field, right hand side here, as attacking the Stretford end. The corner comes in and it's straight into the arms of Kasper Schmeichel. Right, the Leicester City 11 is unchanged. I'll bring you that as well. Schmeichel in goal. Then it's Daniel Amati, Wes Morgan, Harry Maguire and Ben Chilwell, the back four. Ndidi, Adrian Silva, Maddison, Perez and Gray in the middle, in the midfield, with Gray and Perez, Ricardo Perez, the two wingers, and in a nutshell, the main striker Jamie Vardy and Romelu Lukaku amongst the notable places on the bench, or notable starters on the bench. That was the word I was looking for, starters. This is a Martin who gave away that third minute penalty, tucked away by Pogba. Shot comes in, breaks to an Inacho, edge of the area. Still a chance here for Maddison, signed from Norwich. Maddison finds Ricardo. Ricardo's cross, hooked away by Barry. Still 1-0 to Manchester United, but Leicester picking up as they left in the first half. Really putting pressure on Manchester United at the moment. 1-0 at Old Trafford. And still a very, very close run thing. But given away now to Sanchez. That was a poor ball by Wes Morgan. Sanchez has to be taken out by Amati. Free kick. Yellow card to Daniel Amati, who is not having the best tonight. It's a penalty concession, and now having to concede a free kick. Although Sanchez probably went, there was minimal contact though from Daniel Amati. I think he's a little bit unlucky to be booked for that. But it's a free kick to Manchester United, and it will go down as a booking for Amati. Remember, 95 yellow last season for Andre Mariner, from the Birmingham official. And he started as he means to go on this season. Not afraid to show the yellow card. I only showed 5 red last season, which is... but he refereed something like 35 matches. Here's a chance now inside the area. Real chance here for Fred. And the whistle, I think, is gone. In fact, it was offside, I think, has been given. In fact, it wasn't Fred, it was Rashford. Now, what's happened here? Was he beyond the last defender as the ball was played? The answer is just. Half a yard off. Mourinho showing his disgust, and he hasn't looked. You wouldn't believe he's a man whose team are 1-0 up here. His body language has shown a man who's... You wouldn't think his team were winning. Well, balance, they shouldn't really be winning. They don't deserve to be winning, I think. Well, hopefully we'll get to hear from him at the end of the game, because it'll be interesting to see what Mourinho says, because what he says to the media is usually pure box office. And here's Pogba now in the centre of United, who really need to get their fingers out here and play much better in the second half, because Leicester have had them better chances, and Fred is going to lay a cheap free kick midway inside the Leicester half. As I said, I'd be interested to see how Mourinho makes of all this. Fred getting a word or two from the referee, Mr. Mariner. Well, it's been a tough baptism really for United. And of course VAR not involved in league football, but the FA Cup and the League Cup I think are going to be using it again this season. I think it was used a little bit better in the World Cup, although there were a few controversial decisions. You may remember the final between France and Croatia. Was it a penalty or not? Here's Sanchez now on the left hand side for United. Early crossing there towards Rashford, and looked suspiciously offside, but the ball was taken quite competently there by Kasper Schmeichel, and the kick is very long. And again now Iheanacho turning away. United were appealing for a foul, which I think has been given. Looks as if Iheanacho had thrown his man to the ground, or it appeared to be that he threw his man to the ground. The yellow card coming out straight away from Andre Mariner. He's going to book Iheanacho for that. The Leicester players are furious. Fred is saying one or two things here. I think there's another booking, another yellow card being brandished, and Maddison has been spoken to by the referee. We'll try and get all this confirmed. Well, this is what happened. Maddison involved there, indeed, and then the ball played forward. Was it a foul there by Maddison? It might have been a foul on Fred by Maddison. In fact, I think Maddison's the man who's picked up the yellow card, because there was an advantage played. Fred has been booked for his parting things. I'm just trying to get the Maddison booking confirmed, because it looks as if Maddison was waving a yellow card into his direction. Well, Fred has certainly been booked. I don't think Iheanacho has been booked as I initially thought. We're just waiting on the confirmation. Was the Leicester player booked? Certainly Fred is booked for Manchester United. So we're coming towards 10 minutes gone in the second half. Manchester United 1, Leicester City 0. Leicester have been the better side, but United's goal after 3 minutes from Pogba from the penalty spot for a handball against Daniel Amati is the difference between the two teams. To come tomorrow, Newcastle against Tottenham in the Premier League, and then at 5:30 join myself in the presenter's chair, Chris Whiteman, commentating as the game, as Molineux plays host to Premier League football for the first time since 2012, as Wolves take on Everton. Here come Manchester United looking for that killer. Second shot comes in, and Schmeichel just half parried it, and he ain't got it at the second attempt. It was a good effort there from Damian with his right foot. Chilwell was backing off him a little bit, and that could have deflected. If that had deflected off Harry Maguire, that could have caused some problems there for Schmeichel, but he got it at the second attempt, albeit. Still 1-0. One of the most slenderest leads that United have got and they've made so much heavy weather. There will be criticism of their performance tonight from a lot of sections of the media. Be interested to see what Jose Mourinho will say after the match. But one thing is for sure, that Corporel, whatever happens tonight, can be absolutely justifiably proud of his Leicester team, the way they've performed, the way they've committed themselves to the game, and not been at all fazed by the Old Trafford atmosphere. It really has been a good performance from them, and I think they can take heart even if they lose tonight, and they'll be very unlucky to do so if they do. And it would be amazing if they could get an equaliser. They deserve one, but I think they'll do okay this season. If they play with the high intensity and the way they're playing, I don't think they're going to miss Real Mahrez too much as I thought they would. I think Maddison will be a real good buy. A lot of eyebrows raised when Norwich sold him to Leicester for £25 million. Was he worth that money to come from the Championship? An untried lad in the Premier League from the Championship. Was it the right amount of money to pay for him? Well, he's certainly proving his worth here at Old Trafford tonight, in front of a big crowd, 76,000 inside Old Trafford tonight. Only Fred was booed, Maddison wasn't. Well, at the moment, United will feel as if their performance deserve. Well, if they get a second one, it's undeserved. This is Rashford in towards Sanchez, and Sanchez's ball was just poor. Again, the final product for United just not good enough on the night, and they haven't done it too often. And here's a chance now inside the area, and again Sanchez trying to thread it through, and Fred wasn't on the same wavelength. We're into the 58th minute, and here come Leicester with Maguire forward. Infield it goes. United here really are up against the cosh, because Leicester, every time they break, look an absolute threat, and they've got a free kick here. Foul on Damari Gray. They've taken it quickly. The referee's happy, although the ball didn't look stationary as it was taken. The referee was quite happy for the game to go on. Chilwell, who's had a good match for me, has done really well. Infield it goes. Ball will break to Chilwell, far side. Chilwell with plenty to look for with the cross. The cross was flapped away rather unconvincingly by De Gea, who's got away with it because it dropped very kindly to a United player. Now Mata on the break. Now Pogba has it. Pogba sprays the ball out to the far side. Finds Alexis Sanchez on the near side. Here's Sanchez now chipping it in, and clearly offside there against Marcus Rashford as the ball was chipped forward towards him by Alexis Sanchez. He couldn't touch it there. Rashford and Kasper Schmeichel was only too happy to take the ball and get on with the game. And fair play to the referee, didn't blow up. Acknowledged the offside. Then Leicester had possession, and Kasper Schmeichel had it in his grasp, so decided to play on. That's good, sensible refereeing. 59.5 minutes gone. Almost here at Old Trafford. We've had it now. 1-0 to Manchester United. And Leicester have just got over half an hour to get themselves what would be a deserved point. So Marty now on the right hand side. Leicester playing inside. Now then, a chance here for Leicester. Have they got the guile to do it? They have really been worth a point or two here tonight. I've been impressed with their work rate in industry and their ability on the ball. They've been good. I've just got confirmation now on my screen that James Maddison was in fact put for his part in the incident involving him and Fred. And we'll just remind you of the two benches in due course as well. As cries of United ringing around this fantastic venue, one of the great venues in English football, bar none. Has the biggest capacity outside of Wembley Stadium, the new Wembley Stadium that is. 75,000, 76,000 I should say. Just to remind you of the two benches: Smalling, Lukaku, Martial, Grant, Young, Fellaini, McTominay. For Leicester City, we've got Gazelle, Fuchs, Ibarra, Ward, O'Brighton, Evans and Jamie Vardy. And here come Manchester United now looking for this second goal. Here's Shaw in towards Pogba. Pogba turns and Pogba gets the ball back again, left hand side, just inside the United half. Tries to play a 1-2 but he's snuffled out there by the Leicester City defence. And here's Iheanacho again, getting in behind. Iheanacho inside the area and a good covering tackle, challenged there by Eric Bailly. Did really well there, the centre back. Both very quick players. Bailly the defender, Iheanacho the attacker. Now down the left hand side we see Sanchez ball into the area and Rashford was waiting but couldn't get on the end of it. United looking now to go score this second goal. It will be tough on Leicester City because they've contributed so much to a great game of football here, which deserves more than the one goal we've got at the moment. Scored by Pogba after 3 minutes from the penalty spot. And I believe Russ, who's sort of the statsman as well as one of our commentators this season, he's telling me that Jamie Vardy will be coming on soon apparently, and it looks as if he's going to be coming on now. Indeed he is. He's going to practice a double substitution because Chezal will come on, or Chezal, I think that's his debut, I think that's how you pronounce him. So he makes his league debut. Off comes, looks like it's Maddison off and Jamie Vardy on. Well, I'm surprised at that one because I thought Maddison was pulling the strings there for Leicester, but Jamie Vardy on. But he might have replaced Iheanacho and gone like for like, unless he's going to shape up and go 4-4-2. Just have to see how good Gazelle, number 31, is on the ball. So double substitution by Boel as his team look for an equalising goal. Came from Monaco for just around about £15 million, $16 million dollars. Many Americans listening into the game. Here's Juan Mata inside the Leicester half. Plays it to the left with Shaw. Plays a 1-2 now. Mata now with a chance to cross in from the left. Gets the crossing. Hits Wes Morgan's head and it comes away, and then the ball back in will be taken by Kasper Schmeichel. 63 and 3/4 minutes gone. Still 1-0 to Manchester United against Leicester City. Chilwell dispossessed. Mashrid coming back there. Good work rate by the England man, and now here goes an opportunity. Sanchez is through, just a defender to beat. He's got a Marty in front of him. Sanchez lays it off, the shot comes in, and it's wide from Mata, who wants a corner but he's not going to get one. He reckons it deflected. Juan Mata is furious, but it was a lovely lightning break here from Manchester United. Started in their own defence, the ball played through, question marks, was he onside? Looked offside from where I was sitting, but the ball was played back, and did this deflect off the defender? Sanchez laying it up. Mata, well, it might have been handball, but it would have been purely a harsh decision because it was purely accidental, because Morgan had his back to the ball. 4 goals in his previous 4 league appearances against Leicester City. Juan Mata. This is the opportunity for Iheanacho. But look at Bailly there, absolutely superb. Used his strength well and got the ball, although he did push him over a little bit there. Could have been a case there for Leicester City. Penalty is Vardy. Works in again. Kicked away by De Gea. Leicester still very, very unlucky to be 1-0 down. We're still waiting to see whether Romelu Lukaku will get on at all during this last 25 minutes. So we're inside the last 25 minutes of the game. 1-0 here. Manchester United purely and simply will be going top of the Premier League just for probably less than 24 hours, because I'm sure other teams will score loads more tomorrow and take over at the top. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, Leicester will be bottom by default if it was to end this way. And it looks as if Romelu Lukaku is going to come on, the big bulky striker. About to enter the fray. Marcus Rashford worked hard. Didn't get the reward, but he's getting a good appreciation from this 76,000 Old Trafford supporters. Like hashtag Manchester, Rashford is a red. One of the banners I'm just reading there. Here's Romelu Lukaku, 16 goals last season, 7 assists in 34 games for Manchester United. On now for 24 minutes that remain of the opening game of the new Premier League season. Plenty more. This will be coming from on Friday nights, Saturday afternoons and Saturday evenings and Sunday afternoons here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. And all competitions will be covered. The FA Cup in January will be on for the third round, and hopefully we'll cover more ties each round than we've ever done before. Now we've got two extra commentators to cover, with the capacity to cover more games now. Here goes Leicester City again. They're absolutely having a go here. Why not? And here's Damari Gray, right hand side, chips it in, away by Lindelof. Pogba now has it. Gray was nearest to him. Sanchez trying to pirouette. He was fouled there. He was pushed over. Free kick to Manchester United. Absolutely anonymous, of course, for United fan himself. United too passive and conservative when out of possession. Put some pressure on, lads. Well, they haven't really been at the races today. I don't know whether I absolutely anonymous. So I want to get your view on Jose Mourinho's body language, because he hasn't looked something. I mean, has the body language looked negative tonight? It looks, from where I'm sitting, and I've been, when the camera's been, when the camera's been panning on him, it will be his body language doesn't look good at all. And I'll just echo what Russ said. JB man in a match. Get your man in a match in very, very soon, if you can. Apologies for the lack of sound. We just lost a bit of sound there, so apologies, but you haven't missed anything significant. OCSC boy, hello, and thank you very much for subscribing. I do apologise for the lack of sound there. It's not easy to do live games and then interruptions, but we did have a little breakdown in sound. But we've got 20 minutes to go. Don't worry, we're now, hopefully, the sound problems are sorted out as we look at the Manchester United hierarchy there. There's Ed Woodward in the crowd, smiling his face off, but you don't see Mourinho smiling at the moment. He hasn't got the players in he wanted, and his team have really struggled badly tonight, even though they're limping at the moment towards the narrow 1-0 victory as things stand. But with Leicester at the moment, anything's possible. But both Vardy and Lukaku are on as we go inside that last 20 minutes. And, well, he hates Mourinho's attitude. I think the attitude in pre-season has been not brilliant, but he's good. I mean, absolutely anonymous in saying that Mourinho's not happy about the lack of support in the window. Watch this space throughout the season as Schmeichel kicks or chips the ball out to the near side, and Ricardo can pick the ball up, and that's going to be a Leicester City ball on halfway. I mean, Sean Dyche hasn't had a didn't get half the players he wanted, although he got 3 decent signings in 3 terrific signings, which you just break off for a second as Lukaku was trying to get on the end of that attempted through ball by Sanchez. But I think I can understand Mourinho's upset, but he's got a very, very good squad there. That's good enough to finish top 4. Has great breaks in the area, goes down, didn't appeal for a penalty. There were no great appeals for a penalty, and nothing was doing. So here come Manchester United now. Russ saying that he's been reading a few comments on social media and some United fans are not happy with Sanchez tonight. I have to agree. Sanchez has not been at his best. He's not the player that we saw at Arsenal or for Colombia. A few years ago. What's your views on Mina to Everton? Good signing for Everton. We'll see him in action. We'll find out what he's like tomorrow night at Molineux if he plays against Wolverhampton Wanderers, a game you can hear live on this YouTube channel. Join myself in the presenter's chair and Chris Whiteman as your match commentator for that one from 5:15, where and amongst the build-up we'll do the full classified results from the day's 3 o'clock games. Absolutely Anonymous says Mourinho's attitude is a problem. However, the club needs a winning mentality. Jose certainly brings that. He certainly does bring that, but he hasn't been happy for a season or two, and one can understand that. But Mourinho also needs to realise that he's got a very good team to work with. I know he hasn't had the signings he wants, but Sean Dyche didn't get half the players he wanted, but he's not moaning, he's not groaning, he's got what he's got and he's carrying on, and that's the difference in attitudes. And as Martin now breaks forward, and I'll come back to Russ's comments in a moment about one United fan on social media, because Leicester are on the break here. And the ball might just go out of play. Indeed it does. And out for a throw. Right, Russ says, someone called Robin on social media said, just how bad does Sanchez have to play to be substituted? And Robin also goes on to say that Sanchez has been by far the worst player tonight. But we want to know who's been your favourite player, and who deserves the title of the JB Man of the Match award. You've got just over 15 minutes to get your votes in. And Russ will be doing the votes counts, and at the end of, and if there's no clear winner after 90 minutes, then I have the casting vote. I have to say that Maddison has been in the frame as Leicester now coming forward towards the near side. Now a chance now for Ricardo. It's a decent ball in. There was just not enough Leicester players inside the penalty area. And now an opportunity now for Leicester to come forward. And the ball towards the penalty area. Well, for those who will just see this attack out first, and then I'll give you an explanation, a lowdown of how this man of the match works. And the chance here for Leicester inside the area. Vardy did well, breaking from the left-hand side, and Damari Gray got a good toe on that. And David O'Hare at full stretch, coming away to his right, managed to get 2 hands on the ball and turn it away. Right, just to remind everybody how you vote, you just put your name of your favourite player who you think has been the best in the comment section. We count the votes, and then the player that's got the most votes wins the award, wins the JB Man of the Match. So we're going to see McTominay coming off, and it's going to be Fred off, so no substitution for Alexis Sanchez. So 2 votes for Paul Pogba, 1 for Iheanacho. So Pogba leading the thing, and of course we have an hashtag for the new man of the match, which Absolutely Anonymous is launched for us. So if you want to vote, you can It's an optional thing. You can hashtag it with JBMOTM. Okay? Hashtag JBMOTM. So don't forget to hashtag it as well. To quote a famous YouTuber. Sorry, hashtag fans. Back to the game now, and here's a chance now for Leicester to come forward. And here's Gray running at defenders, gets his shot off, and over the top it goes, right foot into the stand. And I have to say, Gray's played okay as well. The Leicester players have done magnificently well. Well, Corporel I think Corporel will sense that it's an opportunity lost here tonight, because his team have played absolutely magnificently. There's no two ways, no questions asked about that. And it just hasn't happened for his side tonight. Old Trafford now, the noise level's just being cranked up to, a tad here as the goal kick comes in from De Gea. Little bounce there, no one went for it. Now then, Matip was in there, and the big bulky Lukaku was there too. Out to Sanchez, who's been probably the worst player of the field, and that's another poor ball. Not brilliant at all. Views on Brighton and Hove Albion. Well, we can't really comment too much. I've got them to finish in the bottom three, purely on second season syndrome. There's always that worries, but they might still up. Oh, but wake off, and a chance here for number 2, and it's over the top, would you believe? From Lukaku. I think Schmeichel might have got something on that. It's a corner. But how United are not 2 up there is the biggest mystery of them all. The ball laid forward. Sanchez, the first bright spark he's actually done in the match. Nice ball there, and why didn't Lukaku just finish it off? If he'd have been in the World Cup, he would have taken it first time and blasted it past the keeper. He took an extra touch and he allowed Schmeichel to come out and block the shot as the corner comes in towards the penalty area, and there just wasn't a positive touch inside the area from a Manchester United player, and it's cleared by Leicester. Wow. Well, how have we not had more than one goal tonight? That is one of the great mysteries at the moment so far in this game. As for Brighton, I've got them down to finish 18 purely and simply with second season syndrome, but I think if they're going to have any chance of staying in for a third season, it's going to be at the home form again, and that's going to be the problem. Schmeichel kept 8 clean sheets last season, but the majority of the season he was actually out for quite a while through injury. He had a good World Cup for Denmark, you may recall. And Harry Maguire has actually played in every minute of every game in the Premier League last season for Leicester. We're going to make a final substitution here. It's going to be the number 23 coming off. Adrian Silva, I think, is the man being replaced. And on in his place comes Abora. So both teams are now used 3 substitutes. We're now coming up towards the final 11 minutes of the contest, plus stoppage time to go. Anthony Taylor is our man with the board this evening, our 4th official. Close at hand down on the touchline tonight. Here come Leicester City, who've been well worth a point on entertainment value, I'm absolutely sure, as they look to try and force an equaliser here. And the ball comes out. Real opportunity now for Leicester. Gray has it on the far side. Brings the ball into Chilwell. Chilwell's cross. Nobody getting blue. Gambling inside the penalty area. Looks like Sanchez is going to get yelled at in the dressing rooms. We call it dressing rooms, although they call it the locker room over in the United States. Looks like United in back to make another change. Although Fellaini's been told to get ready. I think they've only made 2 substitutions, Manchester United, but Leicester have certainly made 3. They made a double change, you may remember. It is hard to keep up with all these changes and substitutions, but Fellaini will hold the ball up. He's a big, tall, 6'7" guy with big afro hair. For those who don't know him, although a lot of English viewers will know who, or listeners will know who Marian Fellaini looks like. Had many years for Everton. Played for Standard Liège in Belgium before that, and then moved to Manchester United. Sanchez is hurt alongside Ricardo. And it really is, as we see a free kick here. We'll see a substitution, I think, for Leicester. I think the referee is not going to allow the substitution to take place yet. No, Topolani hasn't stripped off yet, so Shaw to take the free kick on the left hand side for Manchester United. 1-0, sorry, they lead as Shaw chips the ball in towards the penalty area. Lukaku takes the ball down, edge in the area, ball back again, out towards the far side this time. And United now looking to kill the game off. It's been a plucky performance by Leicester City. United still have possession on the right hand side. The ball hooked in there towards Lukaku, headed half away. Pogba will pick up the loose ball. Pogba turns and turns and turns again. Third time, had to pirouette about 2 or 3 times to do that. And United still keeping possession. This is probably the best spell they've had, arguably, in the entire game. Here's Pogba, goes down. No free kick. Play on, says the referee. Advantage played. United still keeping possession and keeping possession really well. This is the best we've seen of them so far. Opportunity still for United inside the penalty area, and a great finish. And it's Luke Shaw. The left of the 6-yard area, he struck it with his left foot. And Luke Shaw, who's had so many problems, hasn't been in favour of Mourinho. And look at the delight on Mourinho's face. It's the first time we've seen him smile. Now that is pure emotion. Luke Shaw makes it 2-0. The ball ended up right into the far corner of the net. And that will seal Leicester City's fate. And it's so cruel on Leicester because they've given and have contributed so much to the game. But you have to say, what a lovely move. There must have been about 22, 23 passes in the move. They kept possession rather well. And Luke Shaw, yeah, lovely foot touch, and then just swings it in with his left foot. And it's just enough to beat Kasper Schmeichel in the Leicester City goals. Hooks it forward with his left foot, and there we go. Number 2 for Manchester United. And as things stand, although Leicester have only played one game, they will be top of the table. By default, of course, because they've won a game tonight. These 2 teams are the only 2 teams taking part in the Premier League. The rest play tomorrow and Sunday. Pogba is now off and Fellaini now on. And Pogba's had a good game. He's still online for man of the match, and you've got something like 6 minutes to change all that. So 2 votes for Pogba, 1 for, at the moment, in and out show. And here come Leicester. Demarai Gray, edge of the area. Tries to turn, and he gets the ball in there. Chance inside the area. It was 2-0 at this stage of the season last season. It looks as if it's going to be the same scoreline again today. Absolutely none who says, oh wow, Shaw scores his first goal. Shaw scores, Jose smiles, pigs will fly tonight. Well, he showed a bit of well, it's the first time I think since, for a very long time, certainly the first time that we've seen Mourinho smile for quite some time. He wasn't very happy during pre-season either. It's the first time in months that I've actually seen Jose Mourinho with a big smile across his chops as Sanchez tried to play the ball forward, but offside was given anyway. I'm really pleased though in theory for Luke Shaw. He's had severe injury problems, and then last season he was criticised quite unfairly, I felt, by the manager as the cross comes in by Chilwell. It's too badly overhit and behind for a throw. But I'm really pleased for Luke Shaw. He's had a lot of criticism from his own manager. He's had terrible injury troubles. But tonight, that goal was giving him renewed hope and real confidence. And Manchester United have not, let's be fair, they've not been at their sparkling best. They've been second best, fair for most of it. And Claude Puel will absolutely feel that his team do not deserve to be 2-0 down. And in essence, they don't. They've been the better team, Leicester. There's no doubt about that in terms of possession and the way they've gone about their business. But it just hasn't been their night. And if they'd have taken their chances at 1-0, it might have been a different story. But as we're now inside the last 5 minutes, it looks as if the game is settled now. But Leicester, despite the defeat, I've got I've got absolutely nothing to worry about. I think if they play like that during the season, certainly at the KP, I don't think there'll be any problems. I've seen enough of them tonight, even in defeat, to see that they're not going to get sucked into a relegation battle this year, like a lot of pundits have predicted. Oh, now then, they've got a chance here presented by David De Gea. They still might. Ricardo just took a little bit long there to pull the trigger, perhaps. And in the end, it's a corner when it could have easily been. If Ricardo had kept his head, he should have had the shot. But Luke Shaw, what a moment for him. And I'm pleased for Luke Shaw. It's just a great moment for him as we go towards the last 3 minutes in the match. As we watch that again. A bit of luck there maybe, but he deserves it. Hooks it forward. It's actually a very cute finish with his left foot. And I don't think there's any luck involved. It's a lovely bit of play there to get him past the defender. And in she goes to make it 2-0. And look at that. There's actually a little bit of delight in that celebration. And maybe a bit of relief too there for Jose Mourinho. In essence, really. Because, he's not... I think to get the first 3 points in your first home match is always the important thing now. Games to come on the JB channel tomorrow. We'll be following events full commentary from the match at St James's Park between Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur. Kick off at 12:30 British time, and then at 5:30 British time it's Wolves against Everton. Join us for a double header. Chris Whiteman will be your man in the Midlands for that one. And then on Sunday we'll be looking in on Burnley special match as they take their Premier League bow for a third consecutive year over on the South Coast as they take on Southampton. Join me at 1:30 for full match commentary. Here come Manchester United looking for a further little chip in there towards Romelu Lukaku and out for a goal kick. Does anyone watch the MLS? I've watched it a little bit over the summer, but the World Cup's obviously taken preference. It's been okay so far. Rooney's obviously got over there, and that'll give the league that bit more of a boost. But it is starting to take off in a big way, the MLS over in the States, although you'll probably be a very distant way behind the NFL and baseball and a few other American-based sports. The NFL will be starting their regular season in the not too distant future. The Super Bowl will take place in late January and early February next year. That's always a great event as Leicester go forward, looking to get a consolation at the end of the game. You've got about 55 seconds to vote for man of the match. At the moment, it's going to go to Paul Pogba. And there was one vote for Iheanacho, but that's all we've had in the voting system. But we do have a clear winner at this stage of the proceedings. So if we do get a vote for Iheanacho by hook and by crook, then it will go to a sudden death, and I will have to cast a vote. So you've got 30 seconds to change all that. As Shaw, who's had a marvellous game, gets the ball away. He'd be my vote for man in the match, incidentally, Luke Shaw, just purely on the basis that he scored and has probably got a lot of confidence in scoring that second goal for Manchester United. As Chilwell, who again has had a decent game but just hasn't had the reward his performance is merited, is out on the left hand side and he plays the ball back. Damari Gray looked a live wire but hasn't done much else. There's his shot charged away and United have possession, and because now we've had the 90 minutes, the voting is closed, and I can tell you that Paul Pogba is the JB man of the match. So Paul Pogba picks up the first JB man of the match of the new season in Premier League. Right, here's Chilwell now for Leicester. We're inside 4 added minutes, awarded by Anthony Taylor. Iheanacho inside the penalty area, turns, lays it back to Ricardo. Ricardo chipped it in, and Vardy was free at the far post, and in fact he volleys it over the bar and behind for a goal kick. Well, it just hasn't been Leicester's evening, I'm afraid. Jamie Vardy with a free chance there, right foot volley, caught it all wrong. He shinned it is the term that springs to mind. We've had 1 of the 4 minutes. Leicester will be very, very disappointed that their performance hasn't merited more than hasn't yielded at least a point. It's been worthy of a point. If you look at the game in the wider context, it might read 2-0 to Manchester United, and to a lot of observers, it would be a routine walk in the park, but it's been anything but, because Leicester have had great opportunities. We've had a save from Schmeichel either side of half time, so Leicester could have had 2 or 3 goals themselves in this match, and that's no exaggeration of the truth. And here's Chilwell now. He hasn't stopped running all night. We're midway inside the stoppage time minutes. We're just going to, before we answer any more questions, we're just going to see out the end of the game, because it's towards the end. Ricardo now. Ricardo cuts inside. Ricardo with a cross in towards the penalty area, and off the post and in from Vardy. Now then, there are 2 minutes to play. Vardy has scored. That's his first goal of the season. Leicester have got to go back, and I think they've earned that goal, really, in essence, because they haven't given up the whole night long. But have they left it too late? Ricardo will get the assist with a cross. There's Vardy nipping in there. In fact, Ricardo hits the post with his cross. De Gea's very slow to react here. And Vardy just nods it in, says thank you very much, I'll have my first of the season. Here come Leicester now looking for an equalising goal. Well, Maguire scored in the 90+4 game, in the 90+4th minute of the game in the King Power, and maybe they could still nick a point here. Here's Gray. Back to Chilwell, back to Gray. What an interesting finish now. Can Leicester grab themselves an equaliser? Header back again. Can Ricardo keep it in this time? Yes, he can. The big tall Fellaini wins his team a goal kick. 1 minute of the 4 to go. Well, it looked as if it was job done for a second or two there, but Vardy has made it a little bit of a nervy finish here at Old Trafford. But you just wonder, did it come a little bit too late? They needed to score earlier on in the second half, you feel, Leicester, but they deserved something from the game. There's no doubt about that. 30 seconds of the 4 minutes to go. Sanchez losing possession, not for the first time this evening. And here come Leicester, ball over the halfway line, looking for Vardy. And the flick on, and Vardy's there again. Gray over on the far side. Vardy waits in the centre. The ball played back. Will he go for a corner? Gray will certainly hope he does, and he does that. We've got 4 seconds of the 4 left. And Leicester will take the corner. Why not? Schmeichel's going to come up now. We've got a dramatic finish here at Old Trafford in the first match of the new season. There's going to be time for this corner. I would have thought it would be an absolute disgrace if Mr. Mariner blew up at this point. We're 16, 17 seconds over the 4 minutes that we're added. Can Leicester get themselves an unlikely equaliser? Corner to come in from the left-hand side. 30 seconds over the 4 minutes. In towards Schmeichel, and the header just wide. And that could have been the equalising goal, but instead it's a win for Manchester United. But it was anything but easy for Manchester United. Mourinho walks off. Little wide smile on his face. Pogba with a penalty after 3 minutes. Shaw making it, well, it looked as if it was safe as ours is after 83. But Vardy's goal 2 minutes into stoppage time made it a real cliff-hanging finish, which almost ended up with Schmeichel heading with the last header of the last kick of the game. But plenty of positives for Leicester to take out of it. Their performance was excellent, but unfortunately for them it failed to yield any points from tonight. But if they're playing like that when they go at home in the King Power, then I don't think there's any doubt about it. They'll be good value for money this season in terms of entertainment, because they really did entertain well. United were not really that brilliant tonight, but in the end, Paul Pogba got them over the line. And Luke Shaw, I'm very, very pleased for him actually, because he's had a horrible time of things, and to get that goal was a huge boost for him and to his confidence. So I'm very pleased with Shaw. But well, it was a great game of football to watch. Not a very good performance from United. We'll try and get some reaction sometime before 10 o'clock if we can. But it's a win for Manchester United. As Glory Glory Man United swings around around Old Trafford or plays over the town. Right, just to remind you of what we've got coming up commentary-wise here on the JB Clark YouTube channel this weekend. 2 live matches tomorrow. One from St James's Park, Newcastle against Tottenham Hotspur. I'm the man in the commentary box for that one. Join me at 12:15 for that one. Then at 5:30 in the evening, I will be on the presenter's chair for the game between Wolves and Everton. Chris Whiteman will be on the mic for his first live match of this new season. And then on Sunday afternoon, one match to bring your commentary on, and that's from the game at St Mary's between Southampton and Burnley. As we look at the Clarets' first Premier League match of the season at St Mary's. We'll see how they go in that one, and you'll be able to join me at 1:15 Sunday afternoon for that one. So plenty of commentaries to come up, and then of course we'll have Burnley's second leg of Europa League. We'll have the Super Cup on the Wednesday with Chris Whiteman in the com box for that one, and the first round of the Carabao Cup, which my good friend Russ Vernon will hopefully be able to do as well, first round for that one. So we'll all get some midweek footy as well next week, and of course we'll have more Premier League action next week, and we'll let you know what games we will be covering next week, the Saturday after and the Sunday after in the Premier League. But I will confirm that a week on Sunday we'll be at Turf Moor for the first time for a league match this season, as Burnley will play Watford. That's our Sunday offering, and we'll find out which 2 games. Chelsea Arsenal will be one of the games that we'll be covering next Saturday. Chris Whiteman will be your man in the box for that one, and as I say, I'll be doing the early game a week on Saturday as well. So plenty to come. Pogba's our man in the match. As regards the television man in the match, they're giving it to Eric Bailey of Manchester United, but Pogba, by process of elimination, was the man in the match. We're just waiting to see. We're going to stay on the air until just after 10 o'clock here at Old Trafford, because I just want to see if we got any reaction from Mourinho at the end of the game. I don't think we are going to get anything, but it was a cracking match, a real advert for the start of the new season. And I have to say, I was very impressed by the way Leicester City played. They were superb, but United really in the main were very disappointing, I felt. Certainly in the final third, Sanchez, if there was to be a worse player on the pitch, I think a lot of people on social media will concur with me on this. And if you don't, well, you haven't seen you've seen a far different game to what we've seen tonight. To what I said tonight, that Alexis Sanchez really wasn't the player that everyone. He's not performed at all. I don't know what's up with him at the moment, Sanchez. He looks way off the pace, and I'm quite amazed that he wasn't substituted at all in the match at all this evening. But as I said, it's been a good night. Russ, he doesn't need to say sorry about 10 times. Russ, it's okay. Sorry, once is enough for me as far as sorries are concerned. It all happens. It happens to me. It happened to me a few times last season with technical issues. It happened to me just last night, and we managed to get in from the 6 minute onwards. So we do have technical issues, but he'll be back. He'll be back next week with one of our league, with the first round of the League Cup on one of the big games on the Tuesday night of the League Cup. And of course he'll be back with a Friday Night Live as well, so he will be our regular commentator for that one. We're going to stay with you for another 5 or 10 minutes, see if we can get a reaction from one of the managers, Jose Mourinho, if we would be possibly the one we would like to hear from, because we'd like to see what we said after the game. Of course, I will be on Facebook not long after I've stopped broadcasting here, and I'm sure Russ will pay attention because I'm going to make some predictions for tomorrow and Sunday's matches. So just to run down the whole Premier League picture, because obviously there are some FA Cup games that we're not covering tomorrow, obviously, because Burnley aren't involved. We'll only commentate on games at 3 o'clock involving Burnley this season, but most of the games any Saturday games that don't have Burnley on board will be 12:45 and 5:30 kickoffs in essence. So let's have a look at for the fixtures to come over the next few days, and obviously Manchester United winning in the game tonight, and well, let's see what's coming up. The first game of the afternoon tomorrow will be Newcastle against Spurs. That's a 12:30 kickoff, and I'll be keeping you giving you full match commentary on that one on events up at St James's Park. The 3 o'clock kickoffs down at the Vitality Stadium as Cardiff begin their Premier League campaign away at Bournemouth. Fulham start their Premier League campaign with a London derby at home to Crystal Palace at Craven Cottage. Huddersfield Town have got a tough baptism against Sarri and Sarri's new Chelsea team. And Watford and Brighton and Hove Albion is the final 3 o'clock kickoff. And then join myself and Chris Whiteman for commentary of Wolverhampton Wanderers against Everton. That's at 5:30. Then on Sunday, as well as Burnley Southampton, which we will be covering extensively on JB Claret YouTube channel, we will have there will be updates as well from Liverpool against West Ham, and then at 4 o'clock we'll have those Arsenal Manchester City as well. On Saturday the 18th of August, our main matches will be from Cardiff, where Newcastle are the visitors, so that will be one of the games covered by ourselves, and then Chelsea-Arsenal at 5:30. And then on the 19th of August, our main match will come from Turf Moor as Burnley take on Watford in the second of the Claret's match live from the Premier League. Also on the same day, Man City against Huddersfield and Brighton against Manchester United. And hopefully we'll have commentary on the match between Palace and Liverpool on Monday the 20th as well. So plenty coming up in the next month, or next week or so here on the JB Claret YouTube channel. I'm looking forward to bringing you, myself, Chris and Russ, bring you all the action that matters from the Premier League, the Championship, the FA Cup, some EFL Cup games as well, the Carabao Cup competition, Burnley in Europe as well. Every Burnley competitive game we'll try and endeavour to cover live for you. We will be live with the second leg as well next week, and their match against Istanbul from Turf Moor, which should be a cracker. Hopefully we won't have too many technical issues as we wait to see if we get any reaction from Old Trafford tonight. So it's gone 10 o'clock here. The big news is that Manchester United have won the first Premier League match. A 3rd-minute goal for Paul Pogba from the penalty spot after a handball decision against Daniel Amati. But Leicester really came back into it and created a few chances. David De Gea forced into 2 saves either side of half-time. One, a superb save from Damari Gray in the second half where he stabbed it goalwards from 6 yards. But De Gea with lightning sharp reactions got both hands on the ball. As well as that, but then Leicester came back into it in stoppage time. A goal from Vardy as Ricardo's cross came in off the post. And I don't think we're going to hear anything from Mourinho or anybody else, I don't think, because that is about it. So that's brings us to the end of our first match here on the JB Claret YouTube channel of the Premier League for 2018-19 season. Join us for the match between Newcastle, a double bubble tomorrow. Just to remind you, Newcastle United against Tottenham Hotspur tomorrow lunchtime, and then at 5:30 it's Wolverhampton Wanderers against Everton. So be sure to join me at 12:15 for the game between Newcastle and Newcastle and Tottenham, and then at 5:15 join myself, who will be doing who in the build-up will be doing the classified football results. I will be doing the classified football results from the 3 o'clock games up and down the UK, England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, and of course full match commentary of Wolves against Everton with Magcart94, aka Chris Whiteman, and he will be your man on the mic tomorrow evening. So a double bubble to look forward to then. Join me tomorrow, join Chris as well tomorrow for his game as well. But until then, for me, JB, enjoy your Friday night. If you're doing anything, and if you are party responsibly. Okay, but I'll leave you tonight with the news that Manchester United haven't been at their races, but yet they've just managed to eke out a very, very lucky and undeserved, in some quarters, 2-1 win over a plucky Leicester. And if they play like that all season, Leicester, I think they'll be okay. Thank you very much for listening. From me, JB at Old Trafford, have a wonderful Friday night. And as I say, if you're partying, do it responsibly. Alright, take care now. See you all tomorrow. Good night.